What's up? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Seraphim back at it again with another video. Uh, Today we're watching Paddy Pimblett.
These are
6 times Paddy Pimblett went into a crazy beast mode. Paddy, the Baddy. I said it before and I'll say it again. He is a menace. He is a good fighter. He's like one of my, I have to say, if I have a top 5, he would be like top 3. He would be like top 3. Number 1 is John Jones. I had to put John Jones up there. Number 1 is John Jones. Second one is Habib. Third one is Paddy. Fourth one will be Conor McGregor. Paddy Pimblett is top 3. He's literally top 3. Let's just get right into it. See what you will see what he's about. He's a man of his word, guaranteed, and that's why I respect about him. He's a man of his word. No matter what he says, whatever he says off his chest or whatever he does, he's him.
6 times Paddy Pimblett went into complete beast mode.
The guy's a superstar. There's no doubt about it.
He's dancing like this. His hair is flopping around like he's in the Beatles. But then he fucks people up.
Paddy could definitely, he wins the right fights, he could be champ.
Paddy Pimblett has had his ups and downs in the UFC, but he's still managed to keep a perfect 7-0 record, and he's now steamrolling legends and future Hall of Famers, showing that he's champion material every time he steps into the cage. So will we soon see him as the lightweight champion? When Paddy Pimblett signed with the UFC in 2021, he was already making a big name in the UK, thanks to his success in Cage Warriors, where many people compared him to Conor McGregor because of his loud personality. Obviously the UFC is a whole different level, and a lot of people thought Paddy wouldn't make it like Conor, but Pimblett wasn't worried about it.
I'm my own man, lad. Like, no one's Paddy the Baddy, lad. Conor McGregor's his own man, and I'll never be like him and he'll never be like me.
Paddy liked to talk, but his calm confidence was very different from McGregor's wild showmanship.
Look at me, I've got the personality, the look, and I can fight. I'm a marketer's wet dream.
And Paddy's confidence showed heading into his debut against Luigi Vendramini at UFC Vegas 36.
What do you think about Luigi as an opponent? Stylistically, anything you're concerned about, or how do you think you match up?
You've got to, obviously, anyone you fight, like, you've got to be careful, because anyone can throw a big overhand right or a big left hook and can knock you out on any given day. But I think wherever the fight goes, I'm better than him.
Vendramini believed that Paddy's confidence would backfire on him once they stepped into the cage.
I feel he's too confident, talk too much, and this is the key, like a get one trap. He gonna run on me like he thinks me nothing. I think this is my key for this fight.
On fight night, Vendramini almost spoiled everything when he rocked Paddy with a huge shot that left him wobbling, but Paddy recovered and then fired back by going full beast mode and knocking Luigi out in the very first round to kick off his UFC career in style.
I'm the new cash cow. I'm the new main man on the UFC roster.
Although it was a great start to Pimblett's UFC career, his early scare in the fight raised questions that were about to be answered in a big way. Right after his first fight in the UFC, one of Pimblett's biggest critics was his second UFC opponent, Rodrigo Cazula Vargas, who questioned whether Paddy was really that guy.
I actually think he's a bit of a kid.
Yes.
You know, he's got good things, but he's got a lot of bad things as well. So
you feel he's overrated as a fighter?
It's probably overrated.
And Vargas wasn't alone. Even guys like Daniel Cormier had a lot of doubts.
Great performance, but he got hurt.
Paddy ignored the doubters because he knew exactly who he was.
I've always said it from the time I was an amateur. I want to be the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Even though many people questioned Paddy's weaknesses, at UFC London in March 2022, he dominated and finished Vargas with a rear naked choke in the first round.
I've said it before, I reckon in a past life, lad, I was a gladiator in the Colosseum because I was just meant to do this.
While his first win was written off as luck by some, 2 wins in a row made more people start believing in Paddy. Still, many felt he had a lot left to prove against tougher opponents, but he'd silence more critics with a huge statement in his next fight. In the summer of 2022, Paddy Pimblett returned to the cage to fight Jordan Levitt, a loud and confident opponent who did plenty of talking before the fight.
What have you made of Paddy Pimblett in the UFC, and how do you think you stack up against him?
I feel like you separate all the flash from this fight. It's not very interesting at all. I don't follow him on social media, and I didn't really know about Paddy until his debut, so I don't think I'm gonna be starstruck. I don't really see him as a star.
Even though it was the biggest fight of his career, Levitt treated it like just another day at work, and a boring one at that.
On paper, I'm not too interested in this matchup, to be honest. So,
what exactly about it are you not interested in?
I kind of fought a grappler last fight, and they lead to boring fights, and I think I'm a little too smart to make a lot of the mistakes that a lot of his opponents have made. If I take him down, I'm not letting him up. If I hurt him, I'm not going to let off the pressure. And he's not the most accurate striker. He has 1 real knockout, and he's a regional champ, and I've fought all those things before, so...
Paddy, on the other hand, was just as confident that he would steamroll Levitt.
I'm going to knock him out on the feet. The first 5 minutes, more than likely. That's it. I'm going to come out and put it on him in a big way, and he'll wilt under the pressure in the first or early second, and I'm going to finish him.
Both Paddy and Levitt came into the fight full of confidence, but it was Levitt's words that really made him sound more convincing to the pros.
He's been very open. He said, I'm going to come forward, I'm going to punch a hole in his head, I'm going to take him out of there in 2 minutes' time. And I was like, he had me convinced, because Paddy, that's what he's doing. He's convincing everyone, he's selling himself. After talking to Jordan, I think he's going to be a little tougher than what he expects.
In many ways, Pimblett had to prove he really lived up to all the hype, and he did just that. The fight started off competitive, with both men having their moments, but Paddy eventually took over, unleashing the beast in him by landing a huge knee and finishing Levitt with a submission in the second round. More people were now jumping on the Pimblett bandwagon.
I thought he was going to lose this fight. That's what I thought. I thought Jordan Levitt is a little bit harder opponent than Paddy's ready for. That Paddy that we saw over the weekend could be a world champion.
After 3 straight wins, Pimblett faced his toughest test yet in Jared Gordon at UFC 282, but this time, he scraped by with a decision victory that many fans and analysts felt he didn't deserve.
I thought Jared won. I thought Jared Gordon won that fight.
I thought Paddy Pimblett lost. I really did. I thought Jared Gordon won the 3rd round. I thought Jared Gordon won the 1st round.
If his UFC debut left a small mark, this controversial win was a major stain on his record, and it was clear that Paddy needed to make some adjustments if he truly wanted to reach the top.
I think what Paddy needs to do is just humble himself a little bit, stop with this I'm the new cash cow shit. When you're dominating people, it's all well and good. When you're scraping by a victory, it doesn't have the same effect, and it starts to rub people up the wrong way.
Who goes for it on 4th down? Is he in? Is it a touchdown?
I think I have just the thing for you guys. Everyone knows the playoffs are the most emotional time of the year, and you can get in on the action on DraftKings.
New customers bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets.
That's all I gotta say.
The crown is yours.
I never saw him say something and not go with it. He did not go like completely do it. Like he does what he says. He doesn't
It's
talk
your time
just to talk.
to push
He's
your
not
limits.
like that.
U.S. Army
He's
Reserve.
very confident when his abilities are.
Get the fake
And I
out of
see it.
here.
I
with
see it.
Zevia
Every single
Zero
time I've seen
Artificial,
his
Zero
one of his
Sugar,
fights,
Strawberry Lemon
I
Burst
see
Soda.
how he just is. Like
Getting your idea
he's there.
online
His IQ
shouldn't
is there,
be expensive. With hosting our AI,
His
it
IQ
never
is
is.
there.
Stop wondering if you can.
Welcome to Vidian. We're family owned, customer first. Now this is new turf for me, but
Pimblett was now under massive pressure, and to make things worse, he picked up an injury against Gordon that kept him out of the spotlights for a while. So when he came back, he needed something special, and he'd achieved that by mauling a UFC legend. At UFC 296, Pimblett was lined up against Tony Ferguson, one of the UFC's scariest lightweights who was now a shell of himself with 6 straight losses. But Pimblett was coming off an injury too, and worse, he had his opponent wanting to turn him into a ketchup sandwich.
I'm gonna hit him hard.
I'm gonna set the pace. I'm gonna make his face a ketchup sandwich, is what I tell my kid. And I'm gonna go in there and use my blades and my technique.
MMA fans were vocal about how this was an easy fight for Pimblett, but the pros saw it differently.
A lot of people on social media are talking shit about this fight, and I don't understand that, right? Paddy the Baddy's got to come back. You got to give him a credible opponent. Tony Ferguson's a wild motherfucker.
We don't have to pretend that Tony Ferguson can't win this fight. We don't have to pretend that a guy in Paddy the Baddy, whose full focus is on making weight, oh, by the way, and nursing and rehabbing whatever was wrong with him in the first place, which I think was a leg. That could have been a knee, a hip, or a foot, but I feel like it was something with that appendage. You don't know what's going to happen in this fight. This is anybody's ball game.
As for Paddy, he knew who he was up against, and he wasn't taking the fight lightly.
It's a big fight, you know what I mean? It's the biggest fight in my life. I'm fighting an absolute legend of the sport, you know what I mean? He's one of the top 5 lightweights of all time. You know what I mean? When he was on his 12-fight win streak, he's a brilliant fighter, and he's got a great personality as well, hasn't he? So I can't wait to share the octagon with such a legend.
With what many expected to be a war on fight night, ended up being a one-sided demolition thanks to Pimblett's improved wrestling. He rocked Ferguson early and then dominated the rest of the fight with his grappling, controlling all 3 rounds on his way to a clear decision victory.
It was surreal to fight someone like Tony Ferguson, but you know, I've got people like RDA mentioning me already, lad, so it's not going to be long before I fight someone else with a name like that.
With a name as big as Tony Ferguson added to his resume, Pimblett got a major boost on his UFC journey, and things only got scarier the next time he stepped into the octagon. At UFC 304, Paddy Pimblett squared off with King Green in a matchup that had been building for quite some time. The tension had started long before the fight was official, with Green constantly taking shots at Paddy's skills and mocking his fighting style whenever he could.
I don't watch his fights, so I really don't know much about the guy. I just see him doing this little thing. I'm like, who does that? Who does that?
Green even predicted a violent finish on fight night.
I'm gonna kick his ass, I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna fucking talk shit to him because I know what I'm doing. Like, he doesn't know what he's about to get into. He couldn't find a guy in England that looked like me or moved like me. He couldn't find not one person here.
Even big names like Alex Volkanovski echoed Green's words.
I'm going to have to go with Bobby Green. I think he's going to be the safer bet here. It's a 3-rounder, right? Yeah, it's going to be a 3-round fight. Paddy Pimblett, yeah, I find it's going to be hard for him to take him down and get a finish.
Pimblett was adamant on proving everyone wrong.
I'm going to come out and try and take his head off his fucking shoulders.
The MMA world was about to see what was really up. Once the cage door shut, both fighters started trading low kicks, but Paddy's strikes were sharper, and one of his kicks sent Green crashing to the mat. Green scrambled for a takedown, but Paddy shut it down effortlessly, locking in a guillotine before smoothly transitioning into a triangle choke to put King to sleep in the very first round. It was complete domination, and this time, the MMA world was finally talking big about Paddy.
He's out. He put him to sleep. Paddy just put Bobby Green to sleep. Went from a fucking guillotine into a triangle. Put him ass to sleep. Oh my god. That was fucking beautiful. Paddy could definitely. I mean, he wins the right fights. He could be champ.
I knew he could win, but to finish Bobby Green that way, I was very surprised. Talking the talk, walking the walk, man.
That's exactly
even Paddy's biggest critics were left with
That's why I
no
say he
holes
does
to
what
point out.
he does.
He was bigger, he was longer, and it forced Bobby to take a bad shot. And the grappling was, I mean, next level.
Unbelievable.
From Paddy Pimblett.
The win marked Pimblett's entry into the more dangerous levels of the lightweight division, and his next performance would show that he was championship level material. At UFC 314, Paddy Pimblett was scheduled to face former title challenger Michael Chandler, a fighter famous for his explosive striking and powerful wrestling.
I'm looking at Paddy like he's the most dangerous guy who I could possibly face on April 12th.
For both fighters, this matchup was a step closer to the title, but Paddy knew he still had a lot to prove.
Want to stop getting called a prospect and start getting called a contender. So that's the goal.
As for his prediction, Pimblett knew he was capable of winning the fight wherever it went.
I do think I could land a knockout blow as he steps in, like a a punch,
Yeah.
a kick, a knee, an elbow, anything as he steps in and brings all his weight forward and leans into a shot, I think I can knock him out.
On fight night at UFC 314, Chandler tried every trick in the book, from targeting Paddy's groin to hitting him in the back of the head, but Paddy still stole the show. He lit Chandler up on the feet with brutal strikes and knees, then took control on the ground and unleashed relentless ground and pounds to secure a dominant TKO victory in the third round. Pimblett was now undeniable.
He looked different, he was shredded, he looked more muscular, his striking was on point. He had the perfect night.
When I say that was an impressive performance by Paddy Pimblett, I'm telling you, that's an understatement. He just went out there and absolutely destroyed Michael Chandler. And I don't say this lightly, but that was a career-killing performance for Michael Chandler.
So will Paddy Pimblett become the next UFC lightweights champion?
Guaranteed.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and check out 8 times Tom Aspinall went into beast mode.
Yo, that's it for this video. But yeah, Paddy Pimblett, dog. He has to be champion. He has to be. Like, I guarantee when he is champion, I'll be there in the background saying, "Yup, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it." If you don't know where I got that from, yeah, just I knew it. Alright, I hope y'all like this one. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Alright, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.